In my code, I'm going to write a very simple command. Print hello world. This is a simple command that instructs the computer to print the text hello world. When I run this little one-line program, sure enough, the console on the right prints out the text hello world. So voila, we have our first Python program. The program has one command to print hello world, and so in our output we see one action. The computer has printed hello world. Note a couple things here. First, note that this line must be written exactly as it's written here in order to print this text. Print must be in lowercase. It must be followed by a parentheses. The text to print must start with a quotation mark, and it must also end with a quotation mark followed by a parentheses. Python looks specifically for the word print in all lowercase, so if you do something like capitalized print, then Python won't be able to see it. The parentheses that follow the word print tell Python what actually goes inside that print statement. They tell print what it can see. So the print command knows I need to print everything that appears in the parentheses that follow me. And finally, these quotation marks tell Python to interpret this text as text instead of code. So over here, it just prints out the text, hello world, instead of trying to figure out what kind of command hello and world are. As we go forward, you'll learn that print is something we call a function. A function is like a command we can call to do something fairly complex. When we talk about functions, we usually describe them with the parentheses at the end. The only reason why we include these open and closed parentheses at the end is so that we know when we see it that this refers to a function as opposed to some other part of code. Don't worry if that's a little bit confusing now. I only mention it so that when you see these words followed by open and closed parentheses, they don't throw you off. Just know that that's like a little indicator telling you, hey, this thing is a function. So that's our program. We start with the word print in all lowercase, an open parentheses so we can tell it what to actually print, a quotation mark so we can tell it that the text that follows is just plain text, not code, the message itself, here hello world, another quotation mark which ends the first quotation mark telling it that the plain text has ended, and a closed parentheses to end the original parentheses telling print that we're done telling it what to print. Last, it's worth noting here that Python may be the simplest language to get to this point. Other languages require some additional lines of code or some additional setup just to get to the point of printing one line. Python makes this considerably easier. If in the future you switch to Java or C or some other language, you'll find that simple print statements like this have to be contained within some broader code structure. That's one of the things that makes Python a great language to learn first.